our recent switch to Gmail may have you wondering where some important features are and like how do you organize and keep track of everything. So I have 5 quick tips for what I have done in the past couple weeks to get myself organized. They're working for me right now, and I hope that they'll be helpful to you as well. So my number one tip would be to prioritize your inbox. So you can see I have my unread emails up here and I have everything else down here below. Okay. So if something is on unread for me, that means that I need to do something with it. Either I legitimately haven't read it yet or it's something that I need to come back to. And you can customize the way that your inbox is set up. If you click on the settings gear, you'll get the settings icon here. First of all, you can look at the density of your inbox. So you can say, I want to see every attachment popped out below the email. I like mine uncomfortable. I can still see the emails have an attachment with a little paperclip icon there, but it kind of condenses everything for me. Or if you like it really small, you can do the compact and it'll kind of squish everything all together for you. But I found that I like the comfortable the best. But the inbox is where you will really focus on the type of inbox that you want to have. So I have mine set to priority inbox. Of course, there's some others here. For example, anything that's important, so anything with this yellow flag will show up here on top and everything else down on the bottom. Or if you want unread first and then everything else on the bottom, I chose priority because it gave me a second option that I have in my starred, anything that I star or flag as important will go in this starred category. So I use the unread, starred, and everything else. And you can change the order that they show up in. So if you want important to go on top, keep in mind most of our district emails come in as important because Google is smart and it says, hey, these are from important people that you should look at. And then you would change that. So you would select your options that you want here, and then you would come down and select save. Okay. And so that's just how I personally prioritize my inbox so that I can really focus on the things that I need to do, my here and my unread, but these are things that maybe I need to reference later or follow up with. Okay. Tip number 2 would be that organize your inbox with filters and labels and stars. So that's for this window over here on the left. So your starred messages are going to be anything that you mark as starred, and you can customize this. You'll notice that I have a little green check mark and a little blue eye because under the settings icon, if you go to general and you scroll down to the bottom, you have the stars. And so it starts out with just the yellow starred, but I drug up the green check mark and the blue eye so that I can have a few different things for myself organizationally wise. So star means that it's important and I probably want to reference it later. Green check means it's something that I need to do and take care of. And the blue eye is it's information that I need to share or get out, but it's not of top priority. Okay, so you can change that. Don't forget to scroll all the way to the bottom and click save. Okay. Another way that you can organize this left-hand menu is to create labels. So there aren't folders in your Google inbox, there are labels. So I've created these labels here. If you want to create more, you would select this More tab, scroll to the bottom, and click Create New Label. Okay, so you can create maybe a documentation label, and then you can even create labels underneath that. So I have my technology label, but underneath that I have specifically Apple or ITF information, so that I can kind of divide that out, making it easier for me to find information later. Okay, and then when I want to flag an email as one of my filters, I'm going to right click on that, or if I can do it while I'm in the folder as well, and I'm going to click label as. So label as important, okay? Tip number 3 would be to schedule emails. So if I am composing a new message, and you guys know I'm notorious for sending out emails at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, because that's when I work a lot of times, but I'm going to try to make more use of the scheduling emails. So I would type out who I want it to go to. say I'm emailing Mrs. Richardson, I would type my message, and then this little drop down arrow next to send has a schedule send. And when I do that, it gives me some suggested times, or I can pick a specific date and time. So if I already know I need to send out a reminder to students on Friday, I can schedule that out now and type that email while I have a few moments and while I'm thinking about it so I don't forget it later. To add on to this, that scheduling of emails is a huge time saver, but sometimes we have emails that go out if I click send and it goes out and I don't really want it to go out. I realize I made a mistake. If you haven't already, come into your settings and under general, you have undo send, and I think the default is like 10 seconds or 5 seconds, and I changed mine to 30 seconds. So that means if I click send on an email, then for 30 seconds after that, I can click the undo. So message sent, undo, and that person will never receive that email. In fact, it pops it right back up here because it's assuming that I want to make an edit. Okay, so scheduling emails can be a huge time saver. Another huge time saver when you are sending emails, quite often, especially this year with quarantines and such, you might find yourself sending a very similar message multiple times. Okay, so you can use templates. And so the way that that works is I would type out my message to my student, and then over here on the three little dots down at the bottom, I would click more options and I would select templates. And you can see I've got a few saved in here, or I can save this new one as a template. So I'm going to click Save as Template, Save as New Template. And I would just give it a name and save that. That means that after I send this email to Mrs. Richardson, if I come back later and I compose a message, and now I'm emailing Dr. Lillard, under the three dots there, I can click the three dots, click Templates, and then there is my template test that I had just saved, and it pops open that exact same message. A little tip, when you save a template, you may want to delete your signature off of it because it will automatically add your signature again, and you don't want to add it twice, okay? So that is very helpful in saving you a lot of time. You don't have to type out the whole thing. The cool thing is if I want to add to this message, I can simply just add to it and send it to Dr. Lillard, and it doesn't affect the message that I sent to Mrs. Richardson, and it doesn't affect my template. So you can really personalize with dates, names, and things like that, but have kind of the bulk of your information there, or even attachments or anything like that. That's going to save you a ton of time. You do have to turn on the templates, so under Settings, if you go to Advanced, right there and where it says templates, just make sure that's enabled, and then that's what will allow that templates option to show up under that more options menu when you're composing a message. Okay. And last but not least, this is actually kind of a 2 tips in one because I couldn't decide which one I wanted to share with you because I use them both so frequently. One of my favorite things is to add emails to my task list or to snooze an email for later. So to add to a task list, if you haven't noticed your task list yet, it's over here on the right hand side, this little check mark. And this is kind of my running to-do list of things that I need to get done. But I can add a specific email to the task list. So if I just click the plus, you notice that it pops up there. And then I can even type myself a note about what I need to do with that email specifically. And then when it's done, I can just check it off. I really like also that when I add it to my to-do list, it adds the email right there for me so that I can just click on that and it takes me right back to that email. My other favorite tool in here that is very helpful for me in organizing is the snooze button. Okay, so if you've ever gotten an email and then later on you're like, I need to follow up with this. Maybe you've set yourself a reminder, you've put it in on your calendar, or maybe you're like me and it's in your inbox but you've forgotten about it. That's what the snooze button is for. So if I click that snooze button, what it's going to do is it's going to completely take it out of my inbox for now until I'm going to go ahead and snooze it until later today. Notice that it gives me some set times, but then I can also choose a specific date and time. So if I knew I needed to follow up on a certain date, I could choose a specific date and time that would pop back into my inbox. So if I say later today, then that conversation is snoozed. It goes away for me for a little while. And in my inbox, it's now gone. It was down here, remember? And then if I need to get to it sooner than that, I can come over here onto the left and scroll down, and my snoozed is right there. So I can access it. You notice that I have a few snoozed emails. That just means that they're going to pop back into my inbox reminding me, like, hey, you wanted to follow up with this person, or this person needs more information. Go ahead and do that now. And so that's helpful for me in organizing my inbox. Those are my 5, well, really 6 tips for getting organized with Gmail. If you have any questions about getting yourself organized or issues you've run into with Gmail that you haven't quite been able to work out yet, please reach out to me and I am happy to help.